Our Gage Goulding said he asked if the pastor would be available to talk about the situation. They said he would not be available today or later tonight as they try to gather themselves and get some of those questions that we all have answered in this situation. So I think we're going to go back out to Gage, see if we can get those technical difficulties cleared up. Gage, you got us?
Yeah, I got you. Our resources are slowly kind of diminishing here, so we're going to try to get through this as we can. At that press briefing, we kind of got some more color commentary of what exactly would happen. As people are leaving and they're telling us exactly what they heard and saw, we're now able to kind of piece together our puzzle. We spoke with many people who say they heard not one but many gunshots, and that kind of checks out, if you will. We're trying to level the weights, if you will, and that's kind of what we're hearing from Chief Finner, is that off-duty officers did open fire in addition to the suspect opening fire. One person I spoke with actually says they came out of the bathroom and they saw the suspect with a gun. Initially, we heard that there were reports of multiple shooters. We now know that that is not the case. There was only one solo shooter. I want to take you inside the church. One woman, as she came out, she stopped to kind of give us a brief understanding of what was happening. If we have that interview, could we play that real quick?
I heard a bunch of, so there was one shot first, and then there was a set of shots. And then we started running, and there was multiple sets of shots. I can't really count them. It was at least 5 times that they shot multiple times altogether.
You say they, more than one person?
I don't know. No, I don't know. I really didn't see anything. I just ran for my life.
You just heard the gunshots and ran?
Yeah, I was like,
So that was an earlier interview. As you hear, I asked that woman, was there more than one person? And, you know, she wasn't really sure, but we now know that there was just that one person. As for those that were shot, we know the suspect, that woman that's between the ages of 30, 35, she was shot and killed. We do believe that that gunfire came from those off-duty officers. She was with a 5-year-old, approximately 5-year-old child. Unsure the connection there, whether it was a relative family member or just a random person. We just don't know at this time. That child was shot in critical condition at Texas Children's. We're honestly unsure where those bullets came from as well. Were those the gunfire from those off-duty officers or not? Also, a 56-year-old man was shot. I want to see, can we pull up the tweet from our governor, Greg Abbott? He just tweeted a few minutes ago. If we have that tweet up on this screen, he's saying our hearts are with those impacted by today's tragic shooting in the entire Lakewood church community in Houston. Places of worship are sacred. I've been in contact with Mayor Whitmire and offer the full support of resources of the state of Texas, including DPS officers and Texas Rangers, to help this community and help bring swift justice to the criminal who committed this heinous act. They are also praying for anybody that was impacted by this, also for the police officers and law enforcement that responded to this scene. And we saw the governor's full support here. We saw, I mean, every agency, local, county, state, and federal, ATF, FBI, Houston. We've seen the Joint Task Forces. We've seen everybody from constables to HPD to HCSO, state troopers and Texas Rangers. We've seen them all here, and some of them are still gathered. Actually, you could see FBI here talking over my shoulder as they are trying to kind of still process what's going on, going through what they have, processing. And by processing, I mean investigating, right? I guess processing is more of a police term, but they are investigating this woman's vehicle that they still have here on scene. They are investigating inside. Remember, each one of those bullets that were fired, they are going to go through. They're going to track. They're going to trace. They're going to figure out where they went, which guns did those come from. And it looks like for the first time we're seeing some people over here that are walking towards the church. And they do look like they are in church attire. This is the first time we've seen people walking this way. And as we see a hazmat unit that is leaving the scene. So this is what we call breaking down a scene. The scene is slowly breaking down. Units are releasing and going back into service to help other parts of the city and the county respectively. But this is the first time we've seen people walking back towards the scene. So they could be coming back here to retrieve their vehicles or any belongings that they left. It could be a variety of things, but this is a good sign, you know, in the terms of this entire investigation, is that people are coming back towards the church, assumedly to get their belongings as they make that left-hand turn there heading into this. What you're seeing here here, this big building, this is a giant parking garage. So a lot of people that come to Lakewood Church, this is where they're going to park their vehicles before they walk into the facility for their worshiping services. But like I said, you're still seeing a variety of different units out here. FBI, this is the most FBI I've seen out here so far, so they are definitely working. They did tweet out, FBI Houston, that this is their investigation. Previously, this was an HPD investigation, so I asked Houston Police if we're going to get another update today. They said they do not believe so. However, FBI Houston is now in charge of this scene, so they would be the agency responsible for this investigation, which is typical for something of this scale, is that FBI would take over or ATF would take over. But remember, all of these agencies, they're working together, kind of scratching each other's backs and offering every support they can. Recapping real quick, we know 2 people have been shot. A 5-year-old child that was walking into the church with this shooter, a woman 30 to 35 years old, and also somehow another 56-year-old man was shot. We're not sure if that was a bullet coming from the shooter's weapon or one of those situations where they were shot in the crossfire. So we are working to get those answers, and that's something that I believe these detectives, FBI, ATF, HCSO, everybody, they're also working to do that as well as they kind of secure this scene and make it safer for them as well. Bill?
You mentioned those folks that were walking back towards the church. The sheriff, don't know if you were able to see it, the sheriff did mention that folks were being allowed to go back to their vehicles, so that's what we're probably seeing there. As far as the investigation, you did a good job of recapping. In the coming days, I mean, we're talking about a mega church that's been a church for about 65 years. They have cameras inside that building. You also asked about body-worn cameras from those first initial officers that were able to rush to the scene, correct?
Yeah, I asked about those body-worn cameras. Those are off-duty officers. It's very common for agencies to offer their officers off-duty for extra security details or whatever may have it. We're not sure if that was the case here. They didn't really specify that, but we know off-duty officers were here. They have their service weapons. I asked about body-worn cameras. The chief said he wasn't sure. However, with incidents like this, they're called critical incidents, which is essentially much more than just a routine call or even a typical shooting that officers would respond to. They release those elements that are important to the public within a specific period of time. So that's commonly what they do. But you can see people even here kind of being escorted to and from the area by HPD. You see the back of the jackets kind of tell you exactly who they are. You got forensics and all of these different people. This woman right here shaking the hands of Houston firefighters who have been out here at this point going on what, almost 4 hours or so. I'm sorry, that's Sheila Jackson Lee. I'm sorry. Believe it or not, the camera makes it look a lot closer to where we are. We're probably a good 60 yards or so away. Oh yeah, that definitely is her. So you can see there's everybody that came out here, Bill, from you know, the local level the whole way up to the state, federal level. Agencies out here that are working together to try to figure out exactly what's going on here. I think that's the big question as we go into this evening, is why?
Big question. Thank you, Gage, for that reporting. As we